I've been working on this space for a while, and I feel like it's finally at a place where I'm happy to share it with other people. It was in kind of a bit of disarray for a moment there, so I finally got everything situated. Things are pretty organized for the most part, and I'm looking forward to just kind of walking you guys through how I have everything set up, a little bit about my parts collection and the storage that I've got. I can show you guys my minifigures and a couple of other fun things. I'm really happy with the space with where it sits right now, and I've got some plans to hopefully expand in the future, which is pretty exciting, and I'm sure you guys will see that later this year. But for now, let's take a look at things. Since this is the part of the room you guys see in most of my videos, I figured we could start here. I do most of my filming here, I do my scripting here, I do my editing of my videos, I do a lot of my building here as well. So I tried to set this space up with all of that in mind, which is why I've kind of got access to parts in a, I don't know, not quite 360-degree way here, but pretty much all around me is different parts. And this is where things started for me in 2021 after I had been buying some sets in 2020 and I started accumulating more parts and started getting an interest in mock building. I wanted to have places to store my pieces, but also a designated spot for building. So I ended up picking up some of these organizers. These are Craftsman organizers from Lowe's. These are generally used for storing nails and screws, but a lot of people use similar storage solutions for Lego. I like these ones because they're some of the cheapest ones that I've found. They don't stack together like Acromills ones do, but they're about half the price, so that's worth it to me. So pretty much all around me here is part storage. I sort my Lego by piece type and by color as much as I possibly can. Once I started to outgrow these smaller bins, I started moving up to some larger Sterilite bins, which I have under the table here. I also have some office file drawer style things that I keep some parts in. I'll throw some B-roll shots up here so you guys can kind of see what that looks like. But that's pretty much the whole purpose of this area right here, is just having easy accessibility to things. But of course, as I started getting more parts, I had to expand. I filled up these drawers here, all of these drawers filled up, so I had to start moving over to another section of the room. And that's where my Christophsis project is at currently. A couple of other fun things in this section over here. I've got this alternate build for the Sith art set. I found this design on the Lego Star Wars subreddit, and if you go look up this person's user account, you can find the instructions and build it for yourself if you want to as well. I've also got my different versions of Clone Wars Yoda here with an alarm clock, a flashlight, and a regular minifigure. We got one of the few good buildable figures, which is the Commander Cody figure. And then over here we've got the Naboo Swamp. This is actually the first Lego set I ever owned as a kid. I got rid of it at some point in my teenage years, so I rebought it just a couple years ago. And I think it might be the only classic Lego Star Wars set that I own. This whole area over here is pretty new as of the start of my Christophsis mock series. I picked up all these tables from Costco, which are great because you can level them out and get everything flat so you can build across the cracks of the tables without having any issues. They're also height adjustable, so I've got them set up a little bit so that you can either stand and work on stuff, or I've got a stool that I can sit on and work on things as well. It's also great because it allows a ton of space underneath the tables for lots more part storage. I've got tons of Sterilite drawers under here storing all of my bulk parts, and then I have my Hoth build sitting underneath this side of the table over here, just waiting to go to Brickworld. If you haven't been following along with the mock series, check out this playlist here so you can get caught up. So at the moment, most of the tables being used for the Christophsis build, it is nice that I have kind of this section back here for sorting parts or putting things that don't currently have a place to go. For example, I went to a Lego store recently, so I've got all of these parts sorted out here from Pab Cups. And I've got more sorters over there that I picked up from Harbor Freight. These things are great and they're pretty inexpensive, so if you do a lot of sorting, I definitely recommend these. So this mock table here just kind of sits behind our living room. I know this isn't exactly Lego related, but I do keep all of my sealed sets in that closet behind me there. This is also great because when I'm sitting over here building, I can watch TV or YouTube or whatever because I'm facing the right direction. Then we got this area over here, which is primarily a display slash storage solution for the time being. I've got some of my favorite sets and minifigures displayed over here. So you can see we got the Mandalorian Starfighter, we got Pre-Vizsla Starfighter, also got the Jedi Starfighters with Anakin's Jedi Starfighter, and then Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter with the Hyperdrive ring. I think this is currently my favorite set. And then down lower here we have some newer stuff with the TIE Bomber and the Inquisitor's Transport Scythe. I also like playing video games, so I got my GameCube collection as well as my Wii collection down here and the Mario question mark block set. And then at the top here I have a small display of mostly custom clones. I think Cody and Rex are official figures, but outside of that, most of these are Clone Army customs. And then the Ambush on Ferrix set, which is a great build, by the way. Moving over to the left here, we got a Republic fighter tank down on the bottom, along with the Mace Windu minifigure. Got the Blacksmith set, Millennium Falcon, 3DS and DS game collection. The Playscale Razor Crest over there in the corner. and then a homing spider droid. We got the Gungan sub over in the corner here, a couple of the helmets from recent years, and then my microscale mock of Bo-Katan's castle. If you haven't seen the video where I built that, you can check it out here. And then moving on from there, I've got the minifig display. I do have quite a few figures that aren't displayed here, so these are mostly my favorite figures. I'd like to get another one of these at some point, but they're not very cheap. They come from Wicked Brick, which is a company that's out of the UK, and they make really good stuff, but it's expensive, takes a long time to ship, and I'm kind of waiting to see how I change things in the future before I pick up another one. But basically the way I have this laid out is kind of generally I've got bounty hunters up here, I have separatists and Sith from the prequels, I've got Jedi on this row, Phase 2 clones on this row, Phase 1 clones here, and then original trilogy, and then Boba Fett / Mandalorian stuff on the bottom. And then of course the Clone Walker battle pack, which is in my opinion the best battle pack ever. And then back in the corner here, just a couple of sealed sets. My wife and I like to build the Winter Village sets together, so we're saving these ones for this year. Got a couple base plates, a TIE Fighter, ATTE, Republic Fighter Tank, and then some stuff from Brickworld, Michigan in 2022. I'm also a big fan of the Nintendo Switch, so I got my game collection there. Another ATTE and ATAP, and then Obi-Wan Starfighter from Episode 2, and then a couple Blu-rays and stuff down there with the Boba Fett Slave 1. With where things are at currently, I think I'm utilizing the space just about as well as I possibly can. I think it'd be really nice to get some wall decoration up here at some point. My wife and I have talked about putting our modular buildings on a shelf somewhere right here, since we've got quite a bit of open wall space there. I'd also really like to get the Wicked Brick display for the Apollo, because I think it could go really nicely in the corner over there. Let me know if you guys want a more in-depth video on how I go about sorting all of my bricks. I think it's a pretty straightforward process, but I know it feels like an overwhelming task if you're just getting started out. It's definitely taken a lot of time to get to where I'm at with the sorting, but I'm very happy with things, and it's easy to find everything that I'm looking for using this system. Hope you guys enjoyed the room tour. Check out one of these other videos on screen right now if you want to see more from me, and definitely be sure to subscribe down below so you can catch more of my content in the future. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one.